So I got asked to look at a business's income and could I see if there was anything I could recommend for my friend's business. Could I be an extra pair of eyes to see if there was anything they were missing? Because sometimes when business owners are in business, they just get wrapped up. You can't always see, and it takes sometimes a second pair of hands or eyes, to see if there's anything you can save or plug. So I said, fair enough. Send me over your outgoings and what you made in a month and what you spent on a month, and I'll have a look and I'll see if I can plug it or if I can recommend anything if anything's glaring at me. And I did, and they were happy, and they went off and they did what I said. So I thought I would show you what I did. So if you have a business, it might help you. You don't have to have the same business, but you'll get the drift. So I just flip the camera and I will show you. So this is the business. It's my friend's café. And their income for the month, this was 30 days, was 18,200. But their ingredients and stock was 6,100. Wages is 5,200. Rent is 2,000. Now rent is very rarely something you can negotiate. That is that. And the same with the utilities. So the utilities are being like your gas, your electric, or your water, all things like that. 650. You can very rarely can you negotiate on that. And it's with the coffee machine, like that's a rented thing. That's for 120 a month. Marketing socials. Now this is something you can compromise on, and the same with subscriptions and softwares. It depends. And that's 230. Socials and marketing for ads and stuff is 300 a month they pay. Repairs and maintenance they're paying for 80 a month, and just different expenses then 350. So that comes out at 15,730 of expenses. Now what I recommended they do was have a look over the month and see if their stock was going down unnecessarily. So like could there somewhere be in that they could change? So like if they were quiet on the Monday, maybe not prepare so much so it doesn't go into wastage and things like that. So just see how it is and how big is their backup stock. If their backup stock is massive, they don't have to keep ordering, certain things. So that was my first advice, was to try and get this down. And the next is, did they know how many people were bringing in from the ads? Because if the ads aren't working, then there's no point spending 300 on stuff like that. Could they rejig that? Because you can't really rejig. You could rejig, see how the wages, but the rent, the utilities, and the coffee machine, or whatever else they're leased in equipment, that's not negotiable. What is negotiable, I would say, is the maintenance. Now, they did say that they did have to repair something, and that's why that was that. Now, I do agree with putting a kitty a buy every month in businesses, but if you're trying to make more money or you're just trying to save money, this isn't always needed. I would say put something a while, because if something away each month, because you never know what's coming up. But if you're constantly repairing a machine, is it really worth to buy a new machine? So my advice was just see if stop the ads for 2 weeks, see if it does any difference. Put the ads on for the second 2 weeks of the month and see what the difference is, and watch your wastage for the month. That was my advice. They were very happy, and with that they did notice that the ads were not bringing in that many people, so I've had to rejig their ads for them. And they noticed that they were spending 1,000 unnecessarily wastage if they could just be a bit more careful. So it did help. Their profits, without my help though, their profits were 2,470 and they were at a 13% profit rate. So it's not bad, but just a few tweaks here and there, and it can bring up more. So if you like this, drop us a follow or drop us a comment. Let us know what you think.